Last month, Ryan Coogler's movie Sinners came out in theaters, and everyone was talking about it, and I wanted to talk about it too because I did get a chance to see it, but I was too busy with final assignments for my junior year of college and moving out of my apartment and all that kind of stuff. But I did not get to talk about it as soon as I wanted to, but screw it. Sinners is just too cool of a movie for me to just not say anything about it. So here's a quick play on Sinners, a movie that you should absolutely check out, even though you probably already have. Sinners is directed by Ryan Coogler, who you may know for directing the Black Panther films and the first Creed. And here we have a movie that takes place in 1930s Mississippi. It follows two twin brothers, Smokes and Stacks, as they open up a juke joint in their hometown. They have their cousin Sammy, a blues singer, perform, and everyone's having a good time. They're dancing, singing, drinking. It's all fine and dandy. And that's the first half of the movie, setting up this juke joint and making like a place for their community. The second half is vampire stuff, and it's like essentially a fight for their lives with the characters that are stuck at the juke joint while the vampires are surrounding them because they can't let them in. Vampires can only come into an establishment if they're invited in, which our characters can't do. They have to survive until like the sun rises, and they're trapped in this one location, and is honestly really cool. And I think the transition from that first half to the more supernatural second half, I think is really good. It didn't feel jarring or anything. It like genuinely felt really smooth. There's a lot to love about this movie. Performances are all great. Like I think from the people who played the vampires to the people in the juke joint are all fantastic. Like a standout performance is Michael B. Jordan because he plays two characters in this. He plays the twin brothers Smokes and Stacks, and I think he has really good chemistry with himself. But legitimately, I think he's so good at these two characters that for a while I didn't think, oh yeah, it's Michael B. Jordan playing two characters. I thought there were actually two Michael B. Jordans there. And also Haley Steinfeld's in this movie. She's fantastic as well in this. I liked her character. They do a lot of interesting stuff with her, especially her relationship with one of the twin brothers, and then later on what happens in the movie. And also, another stand-up performance that I have to talk about is Miles Canton. I mentioned him because apparently this is his first movie ever, and he knocks it out of the park with his performance, especially when you consider that like his character plays a huge role in the movie. He's someone very vital to the story, and so like giving that kind of role to a newcomer and having him be this good is just wild. He's a star in this movie, and I hope he continues having a good career after this because man, he's really good in this. Something else that I want to mention is the various actors who had to play two different types of their characters. Specifically, some of them do turn into vampires. Vampires in this, of course, are very scary and threatening, and so like having to see like an actor play like a character before they turn into a vampire and then afterwards, I think is really impressive in this. And like, everyone who does do that, who has to do that in this movie, is really good. They essentially have to play two different versions of the same character, and it's good stuff. I don't think there was a single bad performance in this movie. Also, the voice actor for Raphael from the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon is in this movie, and I think that's really cool. So the story overall of this movie, I think is really good. Like I heavily enjoyed both halves of the movie. Like the first half, when they're just like setting up this juke joint and just wanting to build this like fun location for the community and seeing everyone just having a good time, like definitely helps set up just like, you know, this place and why it's like so important for these people to be together. And then ultimately, like when everything comes crashing down later, it becomes even more like heartbreaking and like scary, you know, right? Like it helps with the tension of it all. And then when we do get to the vampire stuff, oh, that stuff is so cool, honestly. Like when they transition into like a supernatural horror is really cool. The way they incorporate the vampires in this story is really cool. They use the part of vampire mythology where they have to be invited into a place for them to actually enter, and using that as like a big aspect of the film to create suspense and tension in a lot of scenes is really good. And oh man, it's just like super cool stuff. And when we see the vampires actually do vampire stuff, be all scary, suck blood, you know, kill people, it is wild. It is crazy. It is really cool. And because Ryan Coogler loves to talk about topics of race and the struggles of the African American community in his movies, this movie does so as well, especially when we consider the fact that it takes place in 1930s Mississippi and has a predominantly black cast. And this movie doesn't shy away from those topics, and in fact, they actually include the vampires in that in a really interesting way that I wasn't initially expecting, honestly. It's really cool. It's like when you hear, oh, they're going to talk about racism, and they have vampires here who are primarily white, at least the main ones that we see, you kind of think like, oh, okay, I can see what they're gonna do. But no, they surprisingly don't. They actually do something really different, where the vampires themselves are not actually racist. In fact, they actually kind of want to help our main characters. And like honestly, that was really interesting. I kind of wish they touched upon that a bit more, but no, it's really cool. But yeah, like I said, I do wish they kind of touched upon it on that. But what is there is really good. My favorite aspect of the movie has got to be the score. Music plays a big theme in this movie. A lot of the characters play music. Sammy is a blues musician, and that's a big aspect of his character. And so the music in this movie, I think, has to definitely be good in order to really emphasize that aspect of the film, and it is, especially the score. My favorite thing about this movie, the score by Ludwig Göransson. I think Ludwig Göransson is now in my top 5 film composers because he is so good, and this soundtrack is his absolute best from what I've heard of him. It is fantastic. I love the way that it incorporates like this big, heavy like rock music for the vampires, but then this like blues music for like the brothers and the other characters in Mississippi. I think like are just really good. It's just all fantastic. It sounds great. I've been re-listening to it so much, especially the music in this one scene in the first half. That is so good. This one scene in the first half is like the best movie of the year. This one scene alone is the best movie of the year. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it and then you'll know what I'm talking about. One issue that I do have with the movie is that I think a lot of the scenes were too dark. And not in subject matter. I mean, like, I could actually not see what was going on screen. But I don't actually think that was the movie's fault. That might have just been the projector at my movie theater, because I looked up if some other people had the same issue, and apparently most of them did not. So I think that was just my movie theater. I definitely think when I pick this movie up on Blu-ray or even 4K, I might actually buy it on 4K. You know, I think it'll probably look better like on my TV. But yeah, other than that, I guess like take that one criticism with like a grain of salt, because like again, it might have just been my movie theater. Overall, Sinners is so cool. I could go on and on about why this movie's great, and I think like it definitely gives off the vibe of like a movie that I will love even more, like the more I rewatch it, because I do want to rewatch this so badly. I'm definitely picking this up on Blu-ray or maybe in 4K, like I said earlier. I don't want these quick plays to be too long. The day the Earth blew up quickly ended up being longer than I wanted to, up to 14 minutes. I kind of want these to be under 10. And that was my bad. I just had too much to say about that movie. Basically, Sinners, to sum it up, is really good. I like it a lot. If you haven't seen it for some reason, go see it. It's still in theaters right now, and it's fantastic. If you want more original movies in theaters, then, you know, this is definitely one you got to check out. Hopefully we can get more original films like this and, you know, have them be successful. And Sinners just needs to be seen on the big screen. It's really good. Hopefully at a better movie theater that doesn't have the scenes, like, too dark. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to try to do a quick play on Thunderbolts and Lilo and Stitch soon, because I got things I want to say about those. One positive, one negative. I think you can tell which one. But anyway, yeah. The point is, go watch Sinners. It'll be a sin if you don't. Alright, that's the best point I could think of right now to end this. Bye.